Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my.
So Luca Nation, it's Andrew here. We got Cage. We're going to welcome you guys back to one of our traditional episodes,
Oh yeah.
Very conservative ones. We're like, what do we do when we don't talk about Top Shot? Are we just going to talk about these cardboard things that are put into plastic cases now?
You said, hey, do you have a play? And I'm like, you mean like a cardboard play, like a physical? And you're like, what's a physical card? Like,
What are
it's crazy.
cards?
Meanwhile, if we played this last 2 minutes to ourselves in November, we're like, what the hell are we talking about? And that's how fast this stuff moves. It's pretty crazy, man. It really is crazy.
I think when the bubble was going on, Cage, we were still I think we heard Tyler Hero was getting into Top Shot. We're like, well, what is this? What is this? But anyway, welcome back to another episode of Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my. Something Cage and I were talking about right before hopping on. And I don't want this to be a Top Shot episode, but as people are asking, is Top Shot going to be around? Is it not? Cage is just doing damage on the market. He's just making moves. He's just finding arbitrage opportunities that are absolutely the exact same principle that you would have on Mercari, you would have on eBay. You could find those plays over and over and over and over again. When for example, Prism base cards skyrocket, but the second tier players don't. It's the same arbitrage plays. So look out for those. Don't necessarily, in my opinion, worry about if a platform is going to be around 1 month, 5 months, 10 months from now. Just play the game that's in front of you. I think that's a valuable lesson.
Yeah, and the snap-on tool to that is don't be someone who says, I'm just waiting for a pack. Right? Sure, the packs are a huge moneymaker if you can get one. But at present, there's something like 65 to 75,000 people who are queued up to get packs, and they're dropping 5,000 packs at a time. Even if they did a major drop of 25,000 like they used to, you only have a 1 in 3 shot of doing it. So while everybody else is sitting on their hands waiting for a pack to drop, it's the same thing as going to Target and hoping to find retail and saying, well, there's no money to be made in the hobby, because I can't get retail blasters. No, there's obviously other ways to play this. So, one of the things I'm doing now, just, and we'll get into physical cards in a second, but one of the things I'm doing now is I'm watching the top guys move. And as they move, I know that the next level is going to follow, right? So LeBron moves, I watch Luca, I watch Zion. As they move, then I watch Trey, Tatum, you name it. So, as the top moves, the next level's follow. It's like dominoes, So I even told Andrew, I said, Zion's rookie debut moved, and the Ja rookie debut hasn't yet. So, we talk about multiples, right? Ja's moments, they traded about, 1 to 3, let's call it, of Zion's. But for some reason, people went nuts on the rookie debut, and it was trading like 6 to 1. And I'm like, all right, well, the rookie debut is next to bounce, and it's gone 3x in 2 days, So, and obviously it changes, and it's not the most static thing in the world. But those are the ways to be looking, not just packs in the marketplace. What hasn't moved, what has. So
I'll tell you what I look at right along those lines. That's a great tip, Cage. Is right before packs drop, people sell off, right? So there's this conversation. A lot of people don't want to keep money in their Dapper wallet because they're scared they're going to miss out on some returns. I always have a little bit of my portfolio in my Dapper wallet. So when Top Shot announces, packs are going to be dropped today, well, people sell off because actually, I don't even know the reason, because you're only going to get one pack and it's $9. But anyway, you see a significant sell-off. So, for example, yesterday, the Kevin Durant out of 7,500 Series 2 moment was about 1,700. As soon as they announced those packs, that moment dropped to 1,300 and 1,250. Well, I just gobbled up a few of those moments. They went back up to 1,600 right after the pack drops were released, and I sold. And I just made 300, 400 Dapper dollars. Then you could quote that Top Shot Dapper dollars. Just on the arbitrage, no appreciation needed, no, guess which player or which moment's going to move. It's just that arbitrage in between before and after a drop. Along those lines, Cage, and I got to give a shout out to Gary, because Gary has his finger on the pulse always. And he tweeted something Sunday night, as you guys are looking at Top Shot, someone just stole a PSA 9 Michael Jordan Fleer. I don't know if you saw that tweet. No. But he's absolutely right. That was a $100,000 card. And it's not just one sale. A few of the recent sales of the PSA 9 have sold right around $50,000 in a newly graded case. So you might think, wow, that's insane. 12 months ago, a PSA 10 was 40,000. How far we've come that a PSA 9 is 50,000. But that's what happens, and we've seen that cycle with Jordan cards quite a bit, right? It reaches new highs, it
100%.
comes back down, it comes back to reality, and then it reaches new highs again. And I'll tell you guys, if you've ever needed a vote of confidence, little support, if you wanted to get into Jordan cards, that card is the card of the hobby. There's just no question about it. It's basically what the hobby is measured by. And regardless of, modern goes down, all that stuff, that card's here to stay. That card's here to stay. We know the hobby's here to stay. And I think, what's interesting about the Jordan Fleer that isn't like any other card is if you have a PSA 1, a PSA 2, or a PSA 10, they all move. They all move. They're all sought after. There's people literally buying Fleer Jordan base cards, or what's it called, raw cards off eBay that they know are going to be a PSA 1 and subbing them in. That's how valuable that card is. So whatever grade you can afford, that's my play of the day today. Is everyone's talking about NFTs. Everyone's talking about other things. That Jordan market's come down, and this is a great time to get into it. Whether you're going to buy yourself a PSA 3 or a PSA 9 for 50,000, I think it's a steal. I think the PSA 9 is a steal at 50K, frankly.
I like it. I mean, I do. I definitely like it. So you're telling me I shouldn't trade my Jordan Fleer for some Top Shot moments? I shouldn't be giving it away for Sabonis out of 15,000 or like that? No.
Sabonis is so underappreciated for how good he is, isn't he?
I think he's great. I mean, he fills the stat sheet. If I was a fantasy player, it's great. But his moments out of 15,000, I see what they sell for, and every time I get one, I sell it immediately. Because I can't.
Can I ask you something? I wanted to talk about this. So I love father-son that have played in the NBA. But I don't know if you saw this article. So Fernando Tatis, he got a record-breaking deal, right?
Yep.
And then you find out there's this news article that comes out that he owes, this loan shark company $27 million. So oftentimes, you haven't heard about it?
No. But
when you're a minor leaguer, these companies they'll give you a loan of $500,000. It happens in tennis and golf. It's like they're sponsoring you. Yep. And most players obviously don't make it, but if you do make it, they get 1% of future earnings. What to me was, so he has a big payday. So 1% of 327 million is big money. It's 2% of it. What's crazy to me is his dad played in the big leagues. Why would they take that loan? Why would they do that? Why would they take money from a booster or sponsor like that?
I have no idea. But maybe it's, it's free money. Maybe he wanted his own money. I have no idea what's going on with father and son there. So, but look, the guy was able to build a brand. Obviously, he had money that he didn't have. Some other youngsters are in there, and he obviously, I'm sure he got some value for that. I mean, he was one of those can't miss prospects for a long time. I mean, not $350 million prospect, but he was one of those can't miss prospects for a long time. But
how about we poll Luca Nation? So Luca Nation, if you're out there and you guys have no more information on this deal, I'm incredibly curious. I think it's kind of swept under the rug right now, but I'm super curious on it and how something like that works. So I know in tennis, because you're not making a lot of money, you find a sponsor who's I'll sponsor you for 100,000 and I'll get 1% of your future earnings. And that helps you pay for travel and all that stuff. I'm curious if you guys know anything about that deal and how that worked out. But anyway, Cage.
Well, it's funny you bring him up. It's funny you bring him up because I mean I have a play today, but I actually have I wanted to talk about that card. Do you know what his just the Topps paper PSA 10 is selling for now?
I hope under 400.
It's over. I only know this because I have a lot of 10 ending with Probstein tonight. It's several hours away, and it's already at $4,000 for the lot of 10.
I mean, that to me is incredibly overpriced.
So one of my plays, this isn't the play of the card, but is to sell that because there's there's a lot of them, and I've been selling for a while now on the lead up to the season, as I've told you guys about, and obviously somebody was smart and got some of my stuff 3 weeks ago at $256 for a lot of 10. They're making some money on the arbitrage now, but I'm not gonna be mad about it because I didn't sell all of them at the time. I sold them, as our dollar cost averaging, our dollar cost selling, as we like to talk about it. And now I'm maximizing because of that, contract that he signed. But I know I have dozens of that card at PSA myself. And I know I'm not the only one. I know there's more of those cards coming back, and there's just so many of them. So I'm selling, and that card would be one that at that price, I don't know that I'm buying. I think we're now in full, preseason run up. Plus, he has his name attached to this huge deal now. You saw that kind of run up with Mookie Betts last time when he signed his big deal and his cards ran, and then during the season they were less. I think you're probably going to be able to find a time a couple weeks into the year where maybe he has 2 or 3 games in a row where he doesn't hit a home run and people are saying he's not earning his money and the cards will come down and there'll be another.
Almost nothing he does can justify that card going anywhere higher. Like,
that's what they say, right?
He'd
Perfectly
have
priced.
to have a record-breaking month for that card to budge, another 50%, which, you always have to ask yourself as your card goes up in value, risk reward, right? Like if I'm holding this card, like best case scenario, what can happen? Okay, worst case scenario. And you don't want that ratio to be 1-to-1. You ideally want it to be 4 or 5 to 1. My card can go up 5x, or it could, lose 20%. So I think about that a lot. And
you've already captured most of the games on that. It's priced to perfection, is what we like to say, right? So you're 100% right? How much more can that go up? He would have to basically come out and hit 4 home runs in his first game and then repeat it for the next 3 games for that card to be $500-$600. Is it possible? Sure. But there are better places to park that money, I believe. Like pay your credit card debt off or something, But so it's funny. I didn't know about Gary's tweet, but I'm thinking along those same lines, right? Well, everybody is looking one way, it's the epitome of what the magician does, right? There's a lot of flash. There's a good looking assistant. There's light bulbs going off, and the hand that you're not supposed to watch is where the actual trick is being done, right? So, Zion PSA 10 prisms are selling on eBay for under $600. Like 5 and change.
I was thinking about that card. And how wrong I got it with John Morant the last few weeks. And I was like, Zion's looked really impressive recently.
Yep, he really has. And, he still has that. He's supposed to be, quote, the next LeBron. You know what I mean? He still has that it factor. He looked good, and he's still a baby. And he'll still be growing into his own, and if you don't believe me, take a look at what Shaq looked like in the beginning of his career as opposed to what he looked like in the end. I don't know whether or not Zion's going to work on his skill set. People advertise that, he's the first person ever to score like 30 points back to back with like 80% field goal shooting. And I say, how is that a positive? It just means he's dunking the ball a lot, but dunks still count, right? But is somebody going to stop him? Is he going to slow down? Is he not going to be the strongest? Does he have to develop a little hook shot? I remember when Shaq was doing it, he was trying to develop a baby hook. You know what I mean? He was trying to do all kinds of stuff, and it never really worked. Can Zion work at it? Is he going to have the discipline to work at it? Is he going to want to work at it? I think right now you're seeing that his floor is a little higher than what people were giving him credit for. He's staying healthy, which was number one question on him. He's athletic, even though he looks large. He's able to, put the ball in the basket. He's able to fill the stat sheet. He's able to do more than just dunk. He's getting his teammates involved. The team looks pretty good. He looks really, really good. So to me, that raises the floor on him a little bit, which is exactly what you were just talking about, right? The risk reward at $500 or so, because if it's selling on eBay for $575, $580, that means you can get one on Facebook. That's the 13%. That means the seller's only getting $500. So we're now getting close to a time where Zion's PSA 10, rookie prism is a $500 card. And what's going to get silly is there's going to be a time in the next couple of months where the next rookie class come out. And here's the play. If you want to grab them now 5 and change, 500, that's fine. But there will be a week or two when the next prism comes out and people are LaMelo crazy, right? And people are, I want to buy LaMelo, and they're going to be searching for LaMelos, and they're going to be grading LaMelos, and they're going to be going after Anthony Edwards and Wiseman and Halliburton. And don't get me wrong, these guys are great. None of them have a chance to be what Zion can be. None of them have a ceiling that Zion has. And you're going to be amazed when you see a LaMelo card selling for 2 or 3 times what the Zion PSA 10 sells for. And that's going to happen. And that's stupid.
I agree. And guys, we haven't done our Star Stock episode this week. We're going to do it tomorrow, but Zion's Star Stock A has also come down quite a bit. Remember, if you listened to last week's episode, it was one of the biggest kind of losers. It's sitting at like 250 or so on Star Stock. Might also be worth a look, but here's how I actually see Zion. They compare him to LeBron. I compare him to Shaq. We talk about the death of the big man. Well, actually, what a better way to say is the big man's changed, right? The big man used to play down low, catch it on the block, be like 7'2" and just dominate. Well, now the big man does the same thing against Zion, but he's 6'7". He could guard across position, right? You see Draymond Green, he plays the 5, but he could guard 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now, Zion's not nearly that good of a defender, but I think what we're actually seeing is the prequel to future, what they call as big men. And I think Zion is going to be the pioneer of that. So I think it's really interesting what's happening. Zion is the new age big man, the new age Shaq that might change the game.
I think it's great. I mean, I talked about Shaq as, he's going to grow into his stuff, shoot the free throws, all that stuff. I remember it. And it's funny. Big man, not big man. All I mean by it is I remember the hype in 1992 when Shaq's cards came out. That was not repeated again until 2003 when LeBron's came out. That was not repeated again until Zion came out. You can say Luka. There was not hype about the Luka and Trey product. Luka and Trey hype came after Zion brought everyone's attention to the hobby again. So, I dare to say, I'm a huge Luka guy. I love Luka. I just spent all that money, all that dapper dollar on a Luka, out of 50, right? I'm a huge Luka guy. But even Luka does not have the ceiling in the hobby. I'm not talking about triple doubles and stats, but ceiling in the hobby that Zion does. Because Zion's one of those generational, transcendent, like highlight reel on every play possible kind of guys. And he's just got that name.
At the block. Look at the block he had on.
Yeah,
insane.
Yeah. It really is. He's got. I'm not saying it's going to happen because he's young. He's got a lot of things that have to break right for it to work out. But he definitely has the highest ceiling of anybody out there now. And that includes Ja, it includes LaMelo, it includes everyone in this year's draft class combined. And I'm not shitting on those guys. People get very mad at me when I say bad things about LaMelo. And he has really performed well. I watch every Hornet game.
Yep.
But performance doesn't really make you hobby relevant. If it was, we'd all be buying Terry Rozier cards right now.
Yeah, and guys, please remember what I've said to you. Remember that every single rookie, this is across the board, they drop off in the second half of the year. No rookies. Melo might be a little different because he's had a little bit of professional experience. Dude, they come from playing 20, 30 games, right? Last year, they didn't even play in the NCAA tournament. They played 25 games last year. The conditioning, Kobe Bryant, the hardest worker in, maybe ever in the NBA, has even spoken about his rookie year. He couldn't make shots. He airballed, I think, 5 shots in the playoffs. And he said, well, it wasn't because my shots were off. My legs weren't there. So I had to get more condition. Please
hit the rookie wall. Right, hit the rookie wall.
Every rookie has it, and LaMelo's looked impressive. LaMelo was a pro before this, so there's a different level of that. I would expect a bit of a drop-off with the performance.
So we got some plays, we got some Jordan, we got some stuff. Here's the best part of being a daily podcast that brings this every day for Luka Nation. I get to ask you this question and be the first ones to talk about it. Tiger Woods.
It's really sad, man. I was never a big Tiger Woods fan, but I could empathize because I remember when I learned the news about Kobe, it was kind of like everything went blank. I was like, it was like you ask yourself, is this real? What's going on? How can this happen? Puts life into perspective a bit as well, how like fleeting and fragile it could be. Dude, just prayers, man. Guy has kids, he's just it's sad. Our producer Jordan, he's a big Tiger Woods fan. So I feel for him. I feel for his family. I wish him a speedy recovery, and that's really all you can say, I guess.
All right. Well, listen, they're saying that it's leg injuries now, which obviously is, it's just saying it's serious, but they say he was alert enough at the scene of the accident to ask first responders to have his manager pick his stuff up from the scene. So, obviously bad, obviously problematic. The story that will come out of it is, at least what's being told right now, is that, he was leaving a hotel where a film production was being shot, and he was in his SUV and was like speeding like crazy and almost lost control of his car and almost hit the director's car. At least that's what's being told to TMZ and the news outlets right now that I'm reading. So here you're going to get another crazy Tiger story, and what does that do with his the legacy?
Okay, I hear you. I hate TMZ like with a passion. I just never understand like how another human can write lies about other humans, and you're like, well, that's their job. Well, it's like, find a better job, man, or
Listen,
woman.
I'm with you, but listen, it's. I'm glad to hear that he's alert enough where this is not life threatening and the like. It's a shame because if the injuries are serious enough, it's going to impact his his golfing for the foreseeable future and his ability to continue his potential challenge of the record books and the like. And you never like to hear anything like that happen to somebody who's considered one of the greats.
I think it's good for like a collector of cards. Like we forget, we don't realize that every player that we hold has risks, right? Like there's a level of why even Jordan, but like why players that are out of the spotlight are actually, maybe they have less reward and less upside, but they have so much less downside. Like Jack Nicklaus, right? Dower came on here and he spoke about Jack Nicklaus as being like, wow, that guy's done so much and he's out of the spotlight. He's nothing Jack Nicklaus does. I don't even know if he's alive. You could tell me that. He's like an old man.
Are you asking if Jack Nicklaus is an old man? Is that the question?
No, I asked if he's alive. Yes, he's 81 years old.
He's definitely still alive. He's definitely still alive. And yes, he is an old man. But some would say so am I. So
God, he used to have this beautiful blonde mop of hair. That's gorgeous.
Oh my God, you are so funny, man. You're checking him out, huh?
I've never watched any Jack Nicklaus moments. I didn't even know what he looked like before this conversation.
Listen,
I started playing golf in 1950. Jesus,
he has stayed very relevant. I mean, he's converted from on course play to designing the courses now. It's a very big deal to have a Jack Nicklaus course, to be playing on a Jack Nicklaus course. And I'm pretty sure I read a couple weeks ago, right around when we had Jeremy on, that he was going to be designing the first like Jack Nicklaus course in Saudi Arabia. So it's a pretty cool thing, man. It's pretty, these guys, they do stay relevant after, but yeah, Jack Nicklaus courses are a big deal. Just like Greg Norman shirts with the shark on it. You got to do something. You got to do something after you can't swing it like you used to. So, but yeah, I mean, listen, prayers out obviously to Tiger, and double prayers out to Tiger collectors. We'll see how this works.
Love you, Luca Nation. Hope you enjoyed this. We thank you for, we've done a few Top Shot episodes back to back to back. It was the talk of the town. We just try to bring you information, insights, strategies that we feel are valuable that are happening in the marketplace. And we appreciate all the feedback.
And if you stay till the end, bonus play. Marcus Smart. What do you think of Marcus Smart? You like him? You make fun when I made a play on him, and then he went out and scored like a 30-point triple-double the next day, because I have that kind of pull in the world. I don't know where he's at now.
If our Luca Nation team that we're building here, because it's more than just you and I at this point, is just a bunch of Marcus Smarts, I would be the happiest man in the world. That's the guy. That's my one in the trenches with me.
So for whatever reason, when moments start to fly, the Tatum moment goes up to 200 and the Jaylen Brown moment goes up to 140, 150, but the Marcus Smart moment, hovers around 25 or $30. And I think that's something that will eventually fix. Now, he's not going to be 200 or 150, but he doesn't have to be 1/10 the price of Tatum. So, if you stay till the very end, you want a little bonus play, the next time there's a drop, next time there's maintenance, next time there's a pack, next time somebody has paper weak hands, put in a 20-something or, $30 bid on a Marcus Smart and steal one of those. And, I think there's some upside. And
that Celtics team hasn't looked great this year. They've dealt with a lot, but I'll tell you, if you guys have watched Marcus Smart, he came into the league. He was just a tenacious guy. He was just a really good defender. He's a pretty good point guard now. He runs the point guard really well. I'd actually argue he's kind of an upgrade over Kemba at point. Cardiac Kemba, as some people used to say. I think that's the freaking funniest nickname ever. But he's improved a lot. I like Marcus Smart as a player a ton.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks, Luca Nation. And I'm hoping by the time you listen to this, we got 5,000 followers and that you have heard our big announcement for 5,000 followers. Get on there. And, look, I get, it's we're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have some good stuff. So thanks, Luca Nation.
Love you guys.
Thank you for spending some time with us on another episode of the Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze Oh My podcast. Do us a favor and like, subscribe. You know what? Don't just like and subscribe. Everybody does that. If you like us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell everybody. And we hope you got something from spending some time with us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.